Welcome back, and in this trade setup we're going to go over Ethereum here. So you can see that we just had a period of sideways consolidation, a lot of choppy action, and we're just looking for it to break one way or the other. Our first indication we were looking for a long is it was holding above the middle VWAP here. So we can see that for the majority of the time it was just holding above this purple line here, so our middle VWAP, and it did dip below but then was quickly bought up, and then had multiple bounces on the middle VWAP. It came to test it numerous times. So basically when it started to break out of this trend line here, this upper trend line, we were looking to just take a long, and we were very hopeful for that because it was still holding above the 55 EMA and the 21 EMA in that instance. So you can see here we turned down for the TTM squeeze, and then we started to roll back up, and we are forming some nice waves moving higher here. So this would have been a good indication for our long. And with the TTM squeeze, we had multiple bars where it was turning over before it finally actually broke out. So it was a clear indication that there was some bullish action before the actual breakout. And once we broke above the RSI trend line here, we can see that there was no looking back in terms of the RSI. It just went just straight higher. And when we go to the 15-minute chart, another indication that we were looking at is just the TTM squeeze on the 15-minute was showing some red dots, so a lot of consolidation, showing that it was just being a pressure cooker. So it was going to have a lot of momentum, and we can see that these were nice waves forming. So one big wave up, a nice corrective TTM squeeze histogram wave down, and then another wave up, and representing all this choppy action that we could have ignored. And then when it finally popped down again and started to give us some indications that it was going to carry on with the momentum, we can see that once it did start to turn up with the 15-minute here, we had a nice rally in Ethereum. And again, for the 15-minute chart here, we broke above the RSI trend line here, and then we came down to test it once again, and then after a successful test and a hold, it was just off to the races with that. And again, even on the 15-minute here, we are holding above the 21 and above the 55 EMA here. So we were anticipating a decent rally, and we finally ended up getting it. Just in terms of what kind of percentage gain that was, so it ended up being around 2.3%, just at the tippy top here. So we would have wanted to take some nice profits in this range as well. And just keeping our stop loss at the 21 EMA, so if price action did fall below that and started to come against us, we would have cut the trade loose. But right now we just wanted to hold a little position, took most of the position off, and let's just try to check out what our Fibonacci extension might have looked like here. So if we say this was the first wave here, so we're already past where we would be for the just a 200% ratio from the break here at the top. So we passed our 1.618 extension, where we'd like to take some of the profits, and then hopefully it'll hit a 2.618 with the rest of the position, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, if there starts to be RSI divergence, where you see that the RSI is no longer making higher highs, but the this actual Ethereum price is, so if it pops up, then pulls back, and then pops up again in terms of price action, but we see the RSI start to decrease. So if it pops up with the RSI and then it starts to make lower highs and lower lows as the price movement keeps rising higher, we'll call that an RSI divergence, and we'll recognize that some of the momentum is giving way there. and it'll be time to exit the trade on that. All in all, a very good trade setup here for Ethereum. Thanks for watching.